Whenever me and some friends are talking about our favorite anime series, I always have to mention Sherlock Hound. Of course, with the name, you can probably assume that it's based off of Sir Conan Doyle's famous series Sherlock Holmes, but everyone is a dog. That's essentially the show. That's the whole premise of the show. It's a detective show that's very entertaining, and it has a lot of wholesome moments. It's a very happy show, and it ran in the mid '80s. So it's a 1980s anime. From 1984 to 1985 was its original run in Japan. If you look at the art style, I'm sure you can recognize that it looks similar to Miyazaki's style, and you'd be correct. It is Hayao Miyazaki. It is his influence. But only in the first 6 episodes was he the director, and only in the first 6 episodes that he was working on the show. So, midway through production, there was some issues with Sir Conan Doyle's estate that led to a halt in production. And when everything was settled, Miyazaki had turned to other projects. So the remaining episodes had to be directed by somebody else. And if you're ever interested in watching it, I highly recommend it, and it is all free on YouTube thanks to TMS Entertainment. They've uploaded all of it on YouTube. It's also on Crunchyroll if that's your thing. And I was a huge fan of the show for years, but then I found out that there was a Figma in production. And I lost my mind. I remember thinking to myself, this is an obscure show that no one ever talks about from the 80s, and now there's a really high quality figure being made for it. Of course I had to buy it, so why don't we take a look at it? Alright, here we go. Here's the Sherlock Hound Figma in box. It's a very large box, and I'm sure, looking at the front of it, you can tell why it's big. It advertises what you can do with it very well. There we go, there's a little peek inside. Of course, this isn't new. I've had this for a while. I forget when this came out. I want to say around 2016? I could be wrong on that. I might correct myself in post. Right there. So there we go. There's some trays. There's some extra stuff. Of course, the all-important Figma bag. Unlike last time when I looked at the Splatoon Girl Figmas, I opened up some of the... there is an extra joint in there, which is cool. But I opened it up. I didn't realize that. There's instructions. Part of the base. And there's the stand that goes with it. The all-important Figma base. Here's the second tray. We'll take a look at the first one first, because that one is the most important one. There we go, and here's Mr. Hound himself. Here we go. Of course, he looks great with his hat and his flowing cape and trench coat and stuff. Like Sherlock Hound does. One thing I love about this figure is that it perfectly shows, one thing I love about Figmas is that they often replicate the style of the show very, very well, like the way the legs are shaped. I don't know, it's nice. He looks great. Then we'll take a look at his big car. There he is, there's his car. This is probably one of the coolest additions I've ever seen a Figma have. It's a little dusty because for a while I've just had him in my car on my shelf. But now he just stands by himself. The car's been taking a little bit of a rest lately. Now let's take a look at the second tray. could just hang out in his car over there. So here's the second tray. There's a lot of small pieces in this one. So whenever you put Mr. Hound in his car, you need to, of course, with the time period, you have him hold on to the levers. The levers come separately in this in this tray, and then you can set him up, put his hands in there, and have him be pulling the levers. And with different poses comes different trench coat, you know, waving in the wind, or whenever you want his legs to be, because the pair that he's wearing right now restricts his legs a little bit. So if you want like him to be in a specific pose, there's extra coat tails for that. Same with this one. Whenever he's in the car, these are for when he's sitting down in his car. You can just attach that. So that's really cool of them to include. I just wanted to at least have one focused shot. And these are kind of funny. These are extra forearms with no hands, in case you ever want to put his hand in his pockets, just in case, 'cause sometimes he has those poses. And here's the extra stuff. Here's his pipe. Here's his smoking pipe, and he always has a hole in his face whenever you want to stick that in there, because he always has it in his mouth, of course, because he's Sherlock. Here's his magnifying glass. Here's a handgun. And here's a smoke trail to come out of the pipe. Which, I'm gonna be honest, I've never been able to, like, stick this in there. And I really don't want to, like... I don't know, it's like they're really fragile parts, and I really don't want to break them. But yeah, you can have it in there if you want to. It's mainly for when he's in his car, so smoke can trail behind him. And these are cool. These are cool. These are extra eye parts. They look a little weird now. Let's say we take Mr. Sherlock here. We have this extra eye part. Take his hat off. I'm gonna take his face off. There we go. So now it's like a Five Nights at Freddy's mask. Take his eyes out. Put the new ones in. And now he's looking in a different direction. Now he's looking more this way. Of course, there's other directions he can be looking at. Pretty cool how they managed to do this. I'm sure this was like hard to coordinate and stuff. It's a really cute addition. There we go. It's hard to find a difference between this one and this one, but I think it's like a slightly different angle. And here's the last direction that he comes with. There we go. Now he's looking more the other way. But I usually just have him looking forward, or if he's alone, I have him looking the other way. But whenever he's in a car, I usually have him looking forward, like that. Just put his little hat on, and there we go, he's ready for his day. He's got his eyes switched out, and now he's ready for the day. Let's take a look at the hands, because I haven't given you a closer look at that. There's his extra hands, of course his pistol hand, his fist, open hands, and this is the hand that you can put his pipe in case you ever want to have him smoking his pipe. There we go. Oh wait, that's the wrong direction. Oof. There we go. It's usually like this. Yeah, there we go, that's much better. So let's pose him a little bit. So there we go. This is usually how I pose him on my shelf, his little Sherlock Holmes pose. Then of course, I'd like to put him, I like to at least show him in his car once in this video. So let me get him in his car. A little behind the scenes look, that's how he looks without his little trench coat parts. Of course, you gotta get him to sit down for this. Let's get that. Since his arm was in his pocket for that pose, I'm gonna switch it back out. There we go. Right, so now he has both of his hands working again. Now for the other side. There we go. Sometimes they're a little hard to completely snap in, because if you shuffle them around too much, it'll pop out pretty easily. There we go. Now let's see. If I recall correctly, it's the folded one on this side. Yeah, okay. And that. Right there. Now I need to get these two hands. Get his pipe in his mouth. Yeah, there's a lot of little pieces with Figmas. Usually this part is a little, whenever people show off Figmas, they're like, hey, look how cool this is, but like, actually setting a Figma up is like, not always that fun. But, it's a little hard to get them to balance the way that you want, and, all that stuff. So even like if you look closely, he isn't all the way down. But yeah, that's pretty much it with getting him in his car. So you have his foot on the gas pedal right there, and and now he's ready for an adventure. I doubt it, but it'd be cool if they made like a figure of Dr. Watson in the show. But yeah, there he is in his car. And that's pretty much all for this video. That's all I really wanted to share. But yeah, go watch Sherlock Hound and have a great day. Yeah? Okay, see ya.